right. Welcome to the podcast Quarantine Classic. We're coming at you with a couple episodes while everyone's stuck inside. Got your co-host Brady, still working with his internet connection, so he might be in and out of the conversation. But we got water expert joining us now, all the way from Kelowna. Elijah's in the house.
Yo, how's it going?
What is up? Oh boy, there you go. That's not bad for an intro. We made it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, Elijah, so let's start off since, I guess it's kind of like what everyone's thinking about. How is the first, couple weeks of quarantine been for you in Kelowna? What's the situation like?
Oh, it's pretty good. I'm just working a lot still. I still have work. It's just still boring though. I don't have any soccer games anymore. I can't go out to eat, so it's kind of boring other than that. So yeah.
You find like most of the restaurants are closed and stuff?
Yeah, all my favorite ones are closed. Yeah. So, boring.
But you said what you do for work is an essential service, apparently?
Yeah, it's a water store, like alkaline water, so that counts as essential service. So I still go to work every day, pretty much. I actually have more hours than usual.
Are people still coming into that store to like order water and stuff, or are you guys doing a lot of delivery?
Well, we do mostly delivery, and then if people do want water, they just give me a call. I just leave the bottles outside, and they pick them up like that. They can't come into the store.
Oh, yeah. Like you don't let anybody come in?
No, they can't come in anymore. And if they want to pay, they have to pay over the phone and everything too. So.
Oh wow! So you guys are like keeping it pretty locked down.
Yeah, no one. I've had no one come into the store in like 2 weeks. I think I've been all by myself in there.
What? So you just like kind of chill out?
Yeah.
Okay, whose phone is going off? Someone's popular.
Yeah.
No, that's my Wi-Fi connection going in and out. It's pretty sick.
Oh, I gotta love your Wi-Fi. Oh. I like how finally I got a good connection, and then now all of a sudden you have a bad one.
I know, frick, man. It's just like we've never got the timing right in our relationship.
Wow. Just one of us is hot, the other is cold.
Frickin' A. For those people who don't know, Elijah lives in a place called Kelowna, which is kind of like the Florida of Canada. Where all the old people go to retire, so for them this virus is doubly scary because their nice little community is at risk.
Yeah, it actually seems like that, yeah. We're in Canada, so woo!
100% of. But yeah, Elijah, it's been a while. Probably some people maybe haven't heard from you. You're always kind of traveling, doing a bunch of cool stuff. So maybe kind of catch us up on what you've been up to the last few years, travels you've had, what life's been like.
Oh, mostly just been working. I've gone to Ecuador a few times again. My parents have a property that I have to go check on because no one's staying there anymore. So I go check on that. I also have a girlfriend that lives there now, so I have to go visit her as well. So. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Phil? Take that, Phil.
Oh, got him.
Okay, so essentially your parents just have this big property. It's just abandoned right now?
Yeah, there's like one or two people staying there, but they're never there. And I basically have to go check to make sure they're doing their job. Like they have to cut the grass and take care of the dogs and stuff like that.
So would you say you're kind of like the scary landlord who comes in every once in a while and just cracks the whip?
No, I'm not the scary one. It's my dad, but they know that I talk to my dad, so that's why they're scared.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess this girlfriend development is pretty new. So how'd that come apart? You just went to Ecuador. Next thing you know, you have a girlfriend, or what?
Oh no, we were texting. Like I was still texting her. We've been friends for a long time. I was texting her while I was in YWAM, actually.
Oh.
But we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, yeah. It happened like a year and a half ago, I think.
Dang.
Well, when
Yeah.
you guys decided to start dating, and then how long till you saw her?
Oh, it was a few months. It was like, I think it was almost a year actually that I didn't see her.
But you've been able to meet the parents and start the groundwork?
Yeah, I went just like a month or two ago. I went to see them. I went to see her, and then I went to visit her family. So my yeah, it was good. Her mom was really nice. She gave me hugs, kisses on the cheek like Ecuadorians do. But the dad was pretty mad, so.
Well,
Guess he's not used to seeing his daughter with a guy, so I guess he was pretty mad about that. He was like all serious, asking me serious questions like, "Are you planning on marrying her? Are you all this stuff?" And I was like all nervous. And then I bought him a big pack of Starbucks from here, and as a gift. So I was like, "Oh, I brought you something from Canada." I gave him this big bag, and he had a big smile appear on his face, and he didn't stop smiling after that. So.
That's so clutch. Oh my goodness.
There you go. Is
So
that,
if you're out there, you don't know how to deal with your girlfriend's dad, call Elijah.
Yeah, exactly. Just give him gifts.
just give him a big
Yeah.
bag of coffee and you're in.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet. That's a pretty cheap dowry right there.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think no, you don't pay the dowry. No, how does dowry work again? It's from. Is it from her parents or his parents?
I mean, it's from someone's parents.
That's the reason I haven't gotten married yet. I'm trying to save up enough goats to
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
buy her from her family.
How many more do you need?
All of them. I don't have.
Don't have any.
Go to Nepal, they're everywhere.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Bolt them back here.
Yeah.
So what's the family situation been like though? Because I know you have like pretty big family and you got everyone all at home. Is most of you guys like all? I mean, besides you're still working, but is most of your family stuck at home now?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the only one working at my house, so everyone else just hangs out at the house, and I'm the only one that gets up to work. So then my sister and brother are in Ecuador still, and my other brother's in the Philippines, and so the rest are here. So yeah, they're all over the place.
Dang, how's that been like with your family and stuff? Are they all like, all kind of chill with it, staying at home, been working nice, or?
Yeah, they've been pretty good. I'm probably the most worried about my sister because she's in one of the hot spots in Ecuador, so she just has to stay home, I guess.
Right, and they're not able to like come back, or they don't have any plans to come back at all.
Well, yeah, they can't come. They're really strict on traveling right now, so they all have to stay where they are.
Right, so they're just kind of like locking it down and staying put, I guess, till it's finally over.
Yeah, exactly. I think because my brother is married to a Filipino, I think they think she got corona, but they're not sure, so she hasn't got tested yet. But she's really sick. So.
Dang, that's like super rough, especially like, yeah, someone gets super sick. It's like you have no idea if they don't get tested. You're like, it could be corona or it could be something else, and it's just kind of
it could be like pneumonia or something. You never know. So,
it like really sucks because then it's like, of course, you think it could be like the worst case scenario.
Yeah, exactly, and that is in Asia, so it's pretty bad in Asia. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of hot spots. So have you been like figuring out new things to, I don't know, like occupy time or something? Like now you don't have like soccer or sports events or whatever. What do you do in the evenings?
Usually, I am studying. I'm studying computer science, like mostly video gaming stuff. So I just usually study that when I'm not working. So actually, while I'm at work, I study too. So.
So is studying video games just code name for playing video games?
No, it's all coding. It's all coding. So.
Because I heard you were pretty into Age of Empires, and so I don't know if that does that.
I do do that sometimes. Yeah.
Do you get credits for that or?
No, I wish.
Studying Age of Empires all night.
Yeah. I play it just to see, I'm just trying to see how to make it. Yeah, that's my excuse.
This guy never stops working. Oh, man.
Yeah. Just all the video games I have to play to make them, man.
Man, that's a tough life. Someone's got to do it.
All right, so Elijah, we've been trying to get everyone hooked, but have you heard of Online Risk?
I heard a little bit of it. Is it good?
It's very good. And so everyone listening to this podcast, everyone has to download Online Risk Global Domination, and we're all going to play. And that's how we're going to get through this.
Playing.
Sponsored, by the way, Risk is our sponsor. So
sponsored video.
It should be. Man, playing Risk with Darcy is almost worse than getting a sickness.
Oh yeah, has he kid?
Like, no, it's just so annoying. He's like the biggest villain of all time, and he just whines.
What?
Oh my goodness.
I don't
we were
know
in
about that.
Africa. It was like the longest trip ever because we just kept having to play Risk with Darcy, and he's so annoying.
I think
Everyone should still join us and play, but just beware that he's not fun.
you're just upset that I always win. You sound a little bitter.
Completely true. I would win sometimes if you guys ever let me.
That's just because whenever we all play, I know like the only threat is you, so I just get everyone to kill you.
Frick!
Well, I'm pretty bad at Risk, so yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to get in there.
Oh, by the end of this, you won't be bad. Everyone's gonna be really good. We're clocking a lot of hours, seeing as that's all we can really do in our evenings.
This is true. For those of you who don't know out there, us in Canada are pretty much told to stay home unless we have to get groceries or do anything that's needed. Otherwise, nothing is open and everything is pretty much shut down. So I hear different parts of the world are different. Like some spots in Europe, they can still go out a little bit, or if you're far enough away. But Elijah, you were saying they have some interesting rules about quarantine in Ecuador right now?
Yeah, they you can only go out from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then if you leave your house after 2 p.m., you get the first time is a $100 fine. The second time it's a year's salary, and the third time in prison. So it's pretty strict.
So if you live there and you don't have a job, it might be a good idea to go out twice.
Yeah.
They escalate pretty quickly. They're like $100 to all your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Jumps right up.
Dang.
Wow. Yeah, don't leave your house.
Maybe we should do a podcast where we just run around Ecuador and try not to get caught.
You mean like a vlog?
Yeah, we'll vlog it all. We'll wear GoPros.
Make sure you take money and you're ready for prison, that's all.
That's the worst kind of prison.
Ecuadorian. Isn't Ecuadorian a fruit?
I don't think so.
No, last time I checked.
We'll Google it or we'll fact check. There's got to be fact checks on the podcast.
We just got to get our manager to fact check.
Yeah. No, exactly. So yeah, Elijah, I mean, as you know, lots of our listeners are former YWAMers themselves. So maybe you could tell us a little bit, like, when you got back from YWAM and have been kind of in Kelowna or Ecuador or either place, what's it been like trying to find, like, a faith community and, like, try to get connected outside of YWAM?
Oh, it was pretty easy for me because I have a really big family, and we're all pretty all missionaries and pretty strong Christians, so it's pretty easy to do that. I go to church with them. They have meetings at my house, all that, so it's pretty easy. Like, it's kind of natural for us, so it wasn't too hard for me. Yeah.
Oh, just turned it to easy mode.
Yeah.
YWAM was the easy part.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right, well, on the same train of YWAM, what we usually try and ask everyone is give us, like, your take on your YWAM experience. And so like kind of like a general view of like, you thought it was impactful or you liked it, didn't like it, this was good, that was bad. Just give us like a brief, 2-minute, 3-minute summary of your experience and if you recommend it for other people.
Well, I thought it was really good. I did struggle a little bit with lecture phase because I just can't sit in class for very long because I was homeschooled, so I'm just not used to that.
Homeschool shout out.
Yeah, so it's just like I could only sit there for an hour and then I just started getting really tired of it. But it was still really good. I still learned. Like there were certain weeks that were really good for me. I enjoyed outreach a little bit more, I think, because it was more like adventurous and I just you get to walk around and do stuff more than just sit there. And it was probably the best for me though because it was probably the first time that I had a house and had to do things like on my own, and it probably helped me get out of my shell a little bit more. So when I came home after to start working and stuff, it made it a little bit easier so that I could talk to people a little bit easier. Before YWAM, I was like really bad at getting to know new people and so saying hi and being social. But after YWAM, it was way easier. So I think that helped me a lot with that. So.
Yeah, that's super good. And so what would so like say you just met a friend and they were thinking about YWAM, like what would you say to them about doing it?
I'd probably tell them that exact thing. I would be like, yeah, well, it made me more outgoing. I was like really nervous dude. I could someone and I would hide in my room. I wouldn't talk to them. I would and when they talked to me, I'd talk really quietly, like, oh yeah, like, and just make them do all the conversation. It helped me a lot with that. And then, of course, if you're like not too strong with God and Christianity, then that's really helpful with that too.
Nice,
some good insights.
I like that. Went from the shy boy to now he's a property manager who people are scared of. Tells girls' dads that he's good to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I became like restaurant manager and everything.
Yeah. Unreal.
Yeah.
If any of you guys are ever in Kelowna, check out Eli's Spanish Cafe. He'll hook you up.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't work there anymore, so.
You picked the right time to stop.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, not a good profession to be in at the moment. Wow.
It's unreal. And then you talked a little bit about like the work your parents are doing, and I'm sure people kind of like heard a little bit of it here and there. Maybe you can talk a little bit about like what their missionary outlook is right now.
Oh yeah, well they are a little bit different than they used to be. Like before YWAM, they were running the children's home in Ecuador there. Mm-hmm. But while I was in Nepal, they shut it down. So like all the kids got adopted or something. So now there is a little bit different. They travel from like here to Nunavut and up north. They do like summer camps with the Inuit. Then they go to Ecuador and do programs there, like Christmas programs and summer camps there. And then they go to the Philippines and they have street ministry there. So they're basically traveling back and forth to all those places.
Wow.
Yeah, they do it like constantly, like once a month they're traveling somewhere. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
For people who don't know where the Inuit are, they're kind of like these people who live up in the Arctic Circle in Canada. There's like not very many people up there, but they don't get like no one really goes up there to visit them. So the fact that they go up there and do that, it's like kind of like this barren wasteland. So the fact they're doing that is pretty cool.
There's really high suicide rates and stuff up there. So
yeah,
we really need the help. So yeah, lots of alcoholism and stuff like that. So
that's really cool. Have you gone up there with them before?
No, because the flights are like $2,000, and I'm not that rich, so I don't have enough money to go up there. I keep wanting to, but the flights are so expensive that I can never do it. But I do want to go eventually. Yeah.
So I remember your sister was like doing stuff and planning stuff up there. So how has like this affected her plans for going back up there?
Yeah, they had a summer camp planned. And they're still planning it and stuff, but they're expecting to not be able to do it anymore. But they're still getting ready. They're still getting ready for it and everything. Like they're still getting games ready and all that. But they're expecting to not be able to do it, so they're just going to use that program for another time.
Right, they're just gonna save it because like what time of year was she planning on going up and running the summer camps?
They're going to go in like July and August, I think.
July and August, yeah. Because yeah, it's kind of like similar situation here. Camps like shut down and they're not really sure if it's gonna be running or not by summertime.
Like you never know. And then my parents were up there like last month, and even then they were like they do Sunday school at the church. They run it, and the church only let 10 kids at a time. So even then they're already putting rules onto them. So I'm not sure how it will end up.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird time to like adjust and figure out what to do for work, or like if camp shut down, like different ways to do online stuff. I don't know if they've like been doing this, but I mean for youth group we've been doing Zoom calls now.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure that they haven't done any of that yet. It's because
it's just kind of just different.
That and the internet up there is incredibly expensive. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like very, very expensive, and then even like you get the best package, and you still can only like watch a certain amount of gigs a month, and before it runs out, and you have to pay even more. So video calls take up a lot of that. So that's why you can't really do that much up there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, it would be a tough time to be a missionary. Like, not only Ken is like kind of not allowed to go like see people and care for them, but you're also like lots of times funded by people who are probably like pretty strapped right now. So definitely like respect to the people who are still there doing it.
Yeah. And it's rough for my parents because they have to stay home. They just traveled, so they're really bored because they're not used to staying still for this long. So
just quarantined it up.
Yeah,
that'd be tough, especially when they're so used to just moving around and like doing stuff
they're used
all
to
the time.
All the time, and so they're like, you could tell they have cabin fever. They're just like,
dang, yeah, that's tough. Oh, yeah, I can't imagine just being like locked down when you're so trying to travel and do things, and then just like all grinds to a halt right away.
Yeah, they already had like flights booked to go to Ecuador. Like, actually, I think they were going to go in like 2 days. I think the flights was set up for a few days. So, and they got canceled, so they can't do that anymore.
Wow, that's crazy. This like last minute stop and like change everything.
Yeah, it's rough.
True, but I mean, I guess kind of good. Like, so because they might have got stuck in Ecuador then.
Yeah, no, if they would have been able to get to Ecuador, but they wouldn't have been able to come back. So.
Yeah.
Would have been stuck down there.
And so have you been like talking back and forth with like Dominica? Like how has it been with you guys? I mean now like you can't really plan to see each other at all, but you've just been messaging back and forth or video calls.
We do video chat like every single day. Like I just did video chat with her right before this actually. So and probably tonight I'll do it again, and so it's basically like constantly video chat. So.
Nice. That's pretty good though. Like nice that we're able to do that and can like video chat and stuff and keep chatting, even though I guess can't plan any trips at the moment, but
no, yeah, I was planning on going like I was thinking maybe July, but I don't think I can anymore.
Yeah. Dang.
Unless some miracle vaccine comes out or something, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean they're working on it.
Yeah.
But you never know. I mean some countries seem to have it on lock. Like just before this, like early this morning, I was talking to my parents in Taiwan, and they said they pretty much got it on lock in Taiwan. Like everything's, like schools are back open, like they're back to normal. Like they shut down schools and everything for 2 weeks. Like everyone's still wearing masks and stuff, and they have all like the precautions. Like before you go into any place, like even to get a haircut or something, they take your temperature, sanitize your hands, everything like that. But I think they only have like 400 cases or something in the whole country.
Oh wow, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, they just like were able to shut everything down, quarantine everything, and then open everything back up in 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I wish it was like that here. See, it feels like the quarantine's been longer than 2 weeks now. So
Yeah, no, it's
Yep.
been pretty long, but I think it's a little bit different. I mean, especially with like Canada just being so spread out in like these bigger areas and stuff,
yeah,
more ports of entry and all that kind of stuff, where it's like it's harder to lock it down and control everything. But I
We're here
mean,
with Dr. Scientist Darcy.
well, you know, you just hear what you hear.
Classic. That's not.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's the one you're looking for. So Elijah, you kind of talked about like you got like this relationship going now, and like you're doing a little bit of work in doing the computer science on the side, which is super legit. So kind of looking forward, like, do you have any big plans for the future? Do you have any dreams and goals you're looking at in the next few years?
well, I've been trying to get a tech job. I was really close to getting a quality assurance like gaming tester here, but it was between me and this Disney guy, and the Disney guy, because he's professional, so yeah. But yeah, I've been trying to get like tech jobs, so I've been looking and studying and looking, so hopefully I eventually can do that.
That's bad. Did you say the job was gaming tester? That sounds like the dream job.
Yeah, you get to play a game over and over and over again. You just have to like basically run into every wall and try every weapon and whatever it is just over and over and over again. And then if you find a mistake, you have to tell people to fix it, basically.
See, I'm not very good at games, but maybe I should get that job because all I do is just kind of run into the walls. My younger brothers are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying. My best."
You'd be like, this game doesn't work. I keep running into walls.
Yeah. Frick.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool. And then I mean, like long term, like have you guys talked to a marriage, like you and your girlfriend, and like do you know like where you live and that kind of thing?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm trying to get her to come visit up here first, and I was actually planning on getting her up here this summer, but
Cool.
I don't think that'll work either because she can't really, like, she has to still get passport and visa and stuff like that, and she can't do that either because of all this. So
Yeah, everything's shut down. That's kind of puts a
And it
damper
takes
on everyone's
a few months
plans.
to do all that stuff anyways. So
Coronavirus stopping true love. What the heck?
yeah, come on, Corona.
Corona.
Dominica, if you're listening to this, you should go to Kelowna. It's like the nicest place in our country. It's very nice.
I'll tell her that.
So cool, yeah, tell her that.
I was like, don't go to Calgary. It's horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. Can't believe it.
Take it.
I mean, though, right now it isn't. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
In the summer,
guy who
though,
leaves Calgary every year.
prime.
Yeah, I'm like in the beach town, basically. I have the lake and everything. So.
And the Ogopogo.
The Ogopogo, yeah.
Yep.
Every time I have like seaweed touch my leg in the lake, I'm like, oh no, the Ogopogo.
For those people who aren't from Canada, the Ogopogo is a monster similar to the Loch Ness monster, who lives in the Okanagan Lake,
which is the lake that my city is on, or besides. So.
It's quite frightening.
The old Ogopogo. Well, Elijah, we're coming to that point where we're almost out of time. So if you want to give people some shout outs or, say hi to anyone, now's your time.
Well, shout out to the whole of YWAM DTS.
Oh, okay, yeah, good coverage.
Forest DTS. Shout out to the Nepal team.
Okay, yeah, bring it a little closer to home. I feel it.
Shout out to the 228 boys. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, now I'm more on board. Come on, what else you got?
Can't think of anything else. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's all right. Yeah, you covered everyone. You narrowed it down. You got a little specific. That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll go with those shout outs. All right, everyone. That's end of our first quarantine podcast.
Ooh.
So, I mean, now that we have all this time on our hands, you can expect that we're going to be getting more episodes out there. Ain't that right, Brady?
Yee. And I mean, when you're out there, let us know too. We're reaching out to you. You know what? If you got time, let us know. Send us a message. We'll get you on there right away. You know, we're open to anyone.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
find yourself with all this free time on your hands. Why not sit down
Yeah,
and
and
have a nice
I was
chat?
offered pay, so
Oh, well. Okay, excuse me, Elijah. That was a DM. So
oh yeah, sorry.
yeah, you don't share that with the general public. All right. Tough times. You know, we're not all dealing water under the table, essential service stuff. We can't. we're not all still making money.
Not making any ad revenue? Oh man.
Oh, that's right. One more time. Yeah, could you guys download Risk Global Domination? Really appreciate it. Message from our sponsors. And
Darcy is the only way to get him to shut up.
with that, let us pop off back to our outro. Oh, you know when you left YouTube on and the music's still going? And we're like 12 videos in?
I
Oh,
wonder.
boys, I found it. Cue outro music.
Buenos dias, everybody.